The next one is all one poem. It is from a book that I'm writing. The book is about a husband and a wife who lived during the war. And it's a very sad book, but a wife tells the husband a fairy tale, which is kind of happier. So here's the fairy tale, okay? It's called Sonya's Fairy Tale from a book called Death Republic. And it's spoken in a woman's voice, okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
If you don't have a handout, you may want to grab one and share one, because otherwise you'll suffer for the next 10 minutes. I have a very heavy accent. Okay. Sonya's Fairy Tale for her husband. Alphonse, my handsome husband, these words you cannot hear. When you awake, my silence, they shall all come true. Hear me tell this story from round earth's imagined corners. No, I tell this story to let the hours be ours. As her husband sleeps, Sonya tells the story. Right in front of the approaching train, a woman and a man fuck in the snow. Consider, my soul, this texture of stubbornness and quiet, as she falls and rises above human snow. Consider this approaching train in which the conductor whistles, rings the bell and shouts as if refusing to believe in their deafness. Consider, my soul, the deafness and the man, its earthly vehicle. The train stops, the train stops, the train stops, conductor whistles. May you win the lottery and spend it all on taxes. The woman strains how cold and laughs. One of us had to stop first, dear. I couldn't. The dream continues. One could suspect that the train from Western Alavia was carrying someone quiet, but we had no idea that it was also carrying ours. To report on the incident, the conductor is called to the police headquarters. No civilian entering the building is ever seen again. We know that much. The conductor walks in. He is drunk. He tells the soldiers he cannot hear them. They tell him to shut up. He cannot hear them. They ask questions, he cannot hear. They're angry, he cannot hear. They hit him, he cannot hear. Slap, he cannot hear. Slap. They let him go. The music changes, and how the music changes. Half light. The train conductor makes love to his wife. Morning, they're unable to hear. Full light. The woman is in her panic. Visits her lover, the downstairs neighbor, who is also married. Half light, they make love with a fervor unknown to them before. Next morning, the neighbors awoke to find themselves deaf. The disease continued to spread for 6 weeks. Our country, whose citizens one morning woke up and refused to hear. The chief of police, the magistrate judge whose knees touches the chief of police is I in the opera. The audience is the sopranos are silent at once, or silence the waiters, the customers, the bystanders, the street musicians and bystanders, the plumbers, the bumpers, the engineers. As you say this voice, they appear in the air, are silent, instantly silent. Directors, professors, zookeepers, I watch the words in the air, watch you watch. And spies, and doctors, and drivers of tractors, and the clap of a hand cannot hear at all. At the clap of a hand, there were years before quiet, there existed an auditory apparatus before the earth was. An acoustic organ, ear duct, earth fear at the clap. And it's a story, ethos. Listen, Alphonse, to what you do not know. The conductor was befriended by a local actress. Her father, a famous hermetology professor, filled the rooms with hundreds of cages, with parrots, chickens, thrushes, canaries, redbreasts, different birds in each home. While the monastery troops searched throughout the city, our hero and the actress feasted on sour apples, together with the Death Manifesto. He noticed she was wearing nothing underneath her dress. Her breasts were small and wide. The conductor tells us what he noticed. Our naive government listens to our naive poets. They say, language, language humanizes us. They're wrong, sweet bastards. We cannot reach one another with mere words. I sing music in small clumsy feet of a woman who doesn't know but knows so much for the fine noise her dragging feet make. I look at her and think I am not deaf. I simply told the world to shut off its speech and music for one. Loudspeaker squat. Citizens at Assembly Square, they make us sit on our hands. Kassanian, we are arrested. We meet in public toilets to feel each other's words. We close doors, turn on flashlights, and sign. Citizens, the deaf hands functions as a mouth, dumb as a tongue, fingers are lips. Prison at Tedna Street are called centers for encouragement of the deaf to hear. You're alive, I whisper to myself. Therefore, something in you listens, something runs down the street, falls, fails to get up. I run, etc. With my legs and my hands, etc. I run down Washington Street, etc. It only takes a few minutes to make a man. After the arrest, I waited about this business, you know, less than in July, of July and before July. If she promised yes, but then said no, take lavender soft with asparagus, champignon, make music for he who had always missed the prettiest girls, will marry a down. I predict an early wedding, but the father of the groom marries the mother of the bride who have consents but silently denies. She will sneak away on her tiptoes while he sleeps. Oh, deaf republic we go, only the police remain. Yes, I have found the catches and something is barking on the radiator. Thank you, darling, for calling me a gladiator. I'm bad, but I'm hard, a gladiator. Each other into the fresh earth, afraid of each other. We understand some of it. I am young. It's a man who talks too much. We put each other down into the fresh earth. In delirium, a cure. Speak of your love making, fucking in front of trains. Why? To wake the deaf, he insists. Leave no detail undisclosed, he insists. I will take you to where no one can hear your confessions. If you took the train conductor seriously, Alfonso, you would follow him to the red light district. Clearly, the epidemic hits the prostitute population harder than any other parts of our town. For anyone who walks the streets of red light district is stone deaf. There, conductor stood, while deafness hums like a little motor, screaming his confessions. His confessions on the relationship between lovemaking and deafness. I loved a butcher sister who most often walk swearing in the middle of the night and bowed before my knees, embracing them. I knelt and kissed her sunburnt elbows. I loved my wife in her shorts, her handkerchiefs, her sleeves. I would like to describe the happiness of my wife in her delicate sleeves. And she sleeps her sleeves so she does not surrender in her sleep. I loved an accountant who laughing loudly in her wake, and her child was a tenderness in her laughter. an accountant who looked at the penis of a man and said, when bombs fall, if you make children. I loved my wife's sister, she who spoke again silence, and spoke again, silence, knowing that silence is what moves us to speak. Madame, to almost the train conductor, leaving his elegance to his lovers, trotted up the avenue where prostitutes stopped in confusion. What was he saying? No one knew. But as he jumped on the sidewalk, I can hear, he yelled. Sputter knocks and deep oak doors, rattle of passports, sounds of falling coins, whooshing of trolleys and of screeching brakes on cars. Snow snarled into the tender door of his ear. His mouth were dry. I can hear, he said, as women began to gather around him as he touched the first prostitute signs. It took her a good hour to recount all the adventures she had known since the Daphnes had taken the city. As she spoke, she too was curtailed. The prostitute sank. And as he stand, circled my nipples and telephone booths and morning trains, I asked for the strength to ask for nothing. His little kisses on my hips, my elbows, my lower back, his teeth on my eyelash above my upper lip, my neck I'm falling tightly pressed under all the weight of his little kisses between my shoulder blades. Such is the victory of my profession. I pray for the strength to pray for nothing. On evening trains and in public gardens, my eyelash, my elbow, my hips, my name by morning, they signed a pact of non-aggression. Before they were taken, unable to sign at first, our townspeople graffitied their conversations and the cities. Wherever the hand could reach, a road sign, a store window, a marble statue, they wrote their names, birthdays, how they first met their spouses, what their neighbors said before they were taken. At the trial of God, we will ask, why did you allow all this? And the answer will be an echo. Why did you allow all this? Written on walls. Who kissed Abraham? Who kissed Magda? Who kissed Karim? Who kissed Dali? Although she was a dozen years his senior, and Karim's bicycle told it at the factory where a two-kissing woman played the secretary's private role of kisses. The epidemic, we knew it was true from the way the newspapers denied it, and we were made afraid. Tony said she saw her former husband standing in a line arranged by Peter's side. Then in June we made love outside to the great happiness of mosquitoes. And we saw the policeman march, our crazy Abraham running after them, shooting at the police horses with a toy water gun. I remember the illness, splashes of water everywhere, and we drank and laughed like barefoot peasants, and also drank quietly, then only the earth, and quietly made vodka from cherries, vodka from wooden chairs. And William began to compare the governor's face to his grandmother's naked ass. And now we enter the city that used to be ours, by the cedars and gardens, by the wooden staircase and one iron gates, where we waited and the doorsteps waited, when the president rode in a white limousine, followed by a 2-night-long procession, which was followed by trials and executions. As we waited on the doorsteps, waited. Be courageous, we said, but no one is courageous. for my soul waits for you. Grant me, God, the city of an audible music. A dream, the end. This story is not about lovemaking. It is not about epidemic stew. It is a story of how darkness returned, but our city, but our people weren't angry. They knew that for a moment the country in our ears was ours. A toast to your voice, a mysterious virtue. With the 53 bones of one food, the 4 dimensions of reason, to pine, redwood sworn from peppermint, to hyacinth, chambaloo, lily, to the train conductor's donkey in a rope, to smells of lemons, a boy pissing splendidly against the trees. Bless each thing on earth until it thickens, until each ungovernable heart admits I confused myself, and yet I love it. And when I love it, I forgot. What I forgot brought glory to my travels. To you I traveled as close as I dared, Lord. Thank you.